Hello everyone, here I am in St Michael's Church Without, which was certainly here by 1370. There was a terrible fire in Bath in 1137, and the abbey was destroyed, much of the city was destroyed, or town back then. The local Bishop Robert, he rebuilt much of the city, and then he had a church built here dedicated to St Michael, the Archangel Michael, in charge of the gate to the city, thinking therefore that wickedness would not enter if St Michael was there, was guarding it with his sword of flame and so on. This church lasted till 1370. There used to be a lady chapel here. Then the church had to be pulled down in 1370. It was in very dilapidated state. It was too small for the community. So the Archdeacon of Bath had money raised, and John Wood the Elder, the architect, designed it and so on. Okay, so he and John Wood had pews reserved for himself whenever rented out his house in Queen Square. He built Queen Square. Anyway, so they said no to that offer. Anyway, so John Harvey designed a church. It was actually built to John Harvey's specifications, not that of the famous one. Okay, so who else used to stay here? Anyway, Richard Sheridan used to worship here. He's the playwright, the Irishman, lived in the Royal Crescent in Bath. It was very new back then. Lord Byron's parents, Mad Jack Byron and Catherine Gordon, married here and so on. Okay, and the fourth church dates from 1835, because the old church had to be knocked down in 1835 and the new one was built. So anyway, because over 3,000 people were worshippers in the parish, there still isn't enough for 3,000 people, obviously. So it was used as a bomb shelter, the crypt in the Second World War. It was in very bad condition by the 1980s. And in 2007 they decided to put in a mezzanine floor and they open it 7 days a week as a cafe to bring people in, so it's actually used. It becomes a community centre. Look, here's the baptismal font, but they can change the seating for worship. And look at these memorial plaques. Look, a cavalryman, judging by that helmet up there. They're all in English, these memorial plaques. The swords as well, okay? Captain Edward MacLeod Blair and so forth. So I won't go through all of them. So here it is, and a regimental flag. Okay, Bath District Africa Star Association. And look at the organ there. And then here we have a royal coat of arms, Church of England. It's obviously got a connection to the monarchy. Dieu et mon droit, God on my right. The supporters, the lion and the unicorn. Look, the harp of Ireland, bottom left. The three lions passant, the lion, the rampant, the crest above it. Okay, and what else was I going to say? Okay, memorial plaque to the organist, Bibles and various religious texts here. And here is the altar with the two candles, as is customary in Anglicanism. Look at the empty cross. And then we have the four gospel writers, or evangelists at Mark, with the symbol of the lion. Look, the lamb, as in Jesus Christ. I'm the bread of life, the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last, as in the book of the Revelation. I'm the true vine. St. Luke with his winged cow, St. John with the eagle. Mark has got the winged lion and so forth. Okay, and then look, the self-sacrificial pelican stabbing itself in the heart to produce blood to save its young, and Jesus Christ on high. Is that God the Father? Yeah, holding whatever the Ten Commandments and so on. I don't know who this is on the right. Okay, so that is St Michael's Church Without, as in just outside the city gates. So it's fairly new idea. I think a good idea so people actually come into the church, and if you believe in Christianity they might imbibe something of it, pick up one of the books, learn something from the stained glass windows. A lot of them are largely empty, don't have an image. Be good to do something there. So yeah, rather than it being an empty shell and almost useless. And that's the west end of the church. Of course it faces east towards Jerusalem, not because it's the direction of the rising sun. Thank you for watching my video.